Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we are going to solve exercise number 4.8. Let's start with the first question. In a map of an industry, the expression of area of rectangular veranda is given by this polynomial, which is x square minus 2x minus 3 meter square. The first part states that we need to find the expressions for both dimensions of veranda. So to solve this, we need to simplify this polynomial. Here this polynomial is basically a quadratic expression. So if we simplify it, we will find the dimensions of veranda. Here the coefficient of x square is 1. So 1 will be multiplied with 3. That results in 3 only. So we will find the factors of negative 2. So that is positive 1 and minus 3. So we can write instead of negative 2x, x square plus x minus 3x minus 3, and we'll take the common between x square and x, that is x. We'll have x plus 1 here, x plus 1 here. So the common terms are x plus 1 and x minus 3. So these are the dimensions for veranda. Now the second part states that we need to find an expression for the perimeter of veranda. And note that veranda is a rectangle. So in order to find the perimeter, we will use the formula of finding perimeter of a rectangle, which is 2 bracket length added with the breadth or the width. So what will we do here? We'll take our length as the first factor, which is x plus 1, and breadth as our second factor, which is x minus 3, and then we'll add them up and multiply them with 2. So x plus 1 plus x minus 3, x rex make up 2x, and positive 1 and negative 3 make up negative 2. So 2 bracket 2x minus 2, and they will be multiplied, and we will have 4x minus 4, and meter, the unit will be in meter. Now if you look at the third part, we need to find the expression for the cost of fencing veranda at 200 rupees per meter. So if you look at the unit, it is meter. So that means that we are going to multiply this cost, which is 200 rupees, with the parameter. So how are we going to do that? We just write cost is equal to 200 multiplied by the parameter, which is 4x minus 4. So that results in 800x subtracted from 800. Now if you look at the last part, which is part D, it says we need to find the expression for the cost of carpeting veranda floor, and here the unit is meter square. So if the unit is just meter, we will multiply that with the perimeter, and if it is meter square, then we will multiply that with the area. So our area is already given in the question, which is x square minus 2x minus 3. So we are going to multiply 250 with that same area. So this will be our answer. Now let's move on to question number 2. In question number 2, it states that the area of a square shaped surface of a machine is given by the expression 25x square minus 30x plus 9 meter square. So in the first question we were given a rectangle and its area, but in the second question we are given a square and its area. So first we need to find the expression for the length of the surface, which basically means we need to find the dimensions. And since all sides of the square are equal, so the dimensions have to be equal, their factors will be equal. So 25x square minus 30x plus 9, we will multiply the coefficient with 9 and find the factors for negative 30, which is negative 15x and negative 15. So we will take the common value from here, which is 5x. So 25x squared divided by 5x results in 5x, and then we will have negative 3, and here we also have 5x minus negative 3. So our first factor will be this, which is 5x minus negative 3, and then 5x again with a negative 3 will be our second factor. So this will be our answer, for the dimensions. Now in the next part, we need to find the expression for the boundary of the surface. And the boundary basically means that we need to find the perimeter of this square. So in order to find the perimeter, the formula for perimeter of a square is 4L. So here the L is 5x minus 3. So if we multiply that 4 times, we will get the perimeter. So that is 20x minus 12, since 5 4s are 20 and 4 3s are 12. Now let's move on to part 3. We need to find the expression for the cost of polishing the surface of the machine at 75 rupees per meter square. So just look at the unit, it is meter square. So we will multiply this value with the area that was already given in the question. So 75 will be multiplied with 25x square minus 30x plus 9. Here I will show you the steps so you will find the cost. So this will be your answer. Now let's look at part D. Here we need to find the expression for the cost of edging around two sides. So if there are two sides, then that means that the first is 5x minus 3. So the second will be 2 multiplied 5x minus 3. So first we will multiply our side with 2, and then we have 28 rupees per meter. So when we have meter, that means we're going to multiply that with the parameter. So when we multiply 2 with 5x minus 3, and then we will multiply that with 28 rupees. So if I show you here only two sides, so 2 bracket 5x minus 3, that results in 10x minus 6, and 28 will be multiplied with 10x minus 6 to produce 280x minus 168 rupees. Okay, so the length was meter and the perimeter was also in the unit meters, so they both get cancelled and only the unit rupees remains. Now let's move on to question number 3. In question number 3, we need to find the expression for height of oil tank if the volume of a cubical oil tank in an oil refinery is expressed. So the volume is 125x cube minus 150x square plus 60x minus 8 meter cube. So if we need to find the volume that is in cubic, and if there is area that will be in squared. So the first part states that we need to find the expression for the height. So if you look closely at what we are given, which is the volume, it comes directly into the formula of a minus b whole cube. And how? Let's look at the first term, which is 125x cube. So what is the cube of 125x? That is 5x. So we can take 5x as a, and then what is the cube of 8? That is 2. So we can take 5x minus 2 whole cube and arrange our formula. So the formula for a minus b whole cube will be a cube minus b cube minus 3a square b plus 3ab square. And since it is a cube, then the all sides of the cube will be equal to each other. So we'll just place the values normally. 5x cube minus 2 cube minus 3 bracket 5x whole square multiplied with 2, and then added with 3ab square, which is 3 bracket 5x into 2 whole square. So after you simplify that, you will just have 125x cube minus 8 minus 150 x square plus 60x as you had in the beginning. So what does that mean? That means that the height will be 5x minus 2. Okay, so this will be the answer for part A. Now we need to find the expression for the surface area of the oil tank. As we learned in the previous grades, the surface area, the formula for surface area is 6L square, where L represents the sides. So we will multiply the length 6 times and then we will take its square to find the surface area for the oil tank. So what can we do right now? Here I've pasted the formula, which is 6L square. 6 will be multiplied with 5x minus 2, which was our height or dimension, and we will take the square of that. So that results in 5x bracket 5x minus 2, and this square basically means that we are going to multiply 5x minus 2 with 5x minus 2. So that is why I multiplied both of these terms. That results in 25x square minus 10x plus 4, and then we will multiply it in the end with 6. So this will be our surface area, which is 150x square minus 120x plus 24. Now let's move on to the next part. Here we need to find the expression for painting it from the outside. Let's just look at the unit. It is meter square. So if the unit is squared, then that means we are going to multiply this value with our area. But what is our area? Because we only found the volume and the dimensions and the surface area. So we're just going to use the surface area, and we will multiply that with 32. So we will just get the cost in rupees. So here we have 32 multiplied by the surface area which we just found in the previous part, and your answer will be 4800x square minus 3840x added with 768. Now let's move on to the question 4. In question number 4, it states that a mechanical engineer works on the wheels of a machine. We need to find their areas given by the first and the second. Basically, we are given the both areas, and we need to find the radii. The radii stands for radius just in the plural form. So in order to find the radii for both of the wheels, we will find the radii for the first and then the second. So if you look at the first expression, here we have pi x square minus 6 pi x plus 9 pi. So if you look at the three terms, pi is being used three times. So we will use it as a common value. So we can just simply write here pi bracket, and pi will get cancelled now. So that removes pi from here, here and here. So that just leaves me with pi bracket x square minus 6x plus 9. After that, just look inside. This is a quadratic expression. So we need to find the factors for negative 6, which is negative 3. So we can just simply write pi bracket x square minus 3x plus 9, and then we will pick the common values between these both pairs. So we will have x minus 3 and x minus 3. So pi bracket x minus 3 whole square will be our area. But we are not done yet. We need to find the radius of this first area. So here we have pi bracket x minus 3 whole square. Now what is the area of a circle? That is pi r square. So we will just place the value of the area, which is pi bracket x minus 3 whole square. Pi gets cancelled on both sides, and then we will take the square root to remove the square from the r and from the x minus 3. So that just leaves me with x minus 3 is equal to our answer. So this will be our radius. Now let's move on to the second. Here we have pi x square minus 10 pi x plus 25 pi. Here we are again going to take pi as a common value, and then now inside the brackets we have a quadratic expression. So we need to find the values, the terms for negative 10x, which is negative 5x and negative 5x. So we can write pi bracket x square minus 5x plus 25, and then we will take x minus 5 as a common value. So pi bracket x minus 5 whole square is our area. But still we aren't done yet. We need to find the radius. So as we know, the area of a circle is pi r square. We need to place the values. So again, pi will get cancelled. Then square root will be applied to remove the square. And then x minus 5 is equal to r. So that means that for the first polynomial or expression, this is the radius, and then for the second expression, this is the radius. Okay, now let's move on to question number 5. In question number 5, we can see that a machine has two squared shape presses. Now what does this tell us? This tells us that we have two shape pressers with the shape of a square. so all the sides will be equal. And here the first area is 25 meters square and the second is 36 n square. The units are just used to denote each other. So we need to find the difference of these areas and then we need to find the dimension of the rectangular presses. So in order to solve this expression, here as you can see the first area is 25 meters square, the second is 36 n square. So what will their difference be? That means we are going to subtract them. So 36 n square will be subtracted from 25 m square. Now what is common between them? N, it is square. Here we have square on the left and then we have square on the right. So we are going to use the formula of a square minus b square. But before using that, we need to simplify them. So what is the square of 36n? That is 6n. And what is the square of 25m? That is 5m. So we can write 6n whole square minus 5m whole square. And then we will apply the formula of a square minus b square. So 6n plus 5m and 6n minus 5m will be our answer for the dimensions as well as the difference which was already here. That is 36n square minus 25m square. Now let's move on to the last question of the exercise. We need to find the possible expression for the speed of a missile and the possible expression for the time to reach the target. But what are we given? We are given the distance which is denoted by this expression, and that is x square plus 5x plus 6 meters. So how can we find speed and time? In order to find speed and time, we are going to simplify this expression first. It is a quadratic expression, so we are going to find the terms. Here we have x plus 5x plus 6. So what are we going to do? We are going to find the factors for 5x, which is 2x and 3x. So x square plus 2x plus 3x plus 6. And then we are going to take the common between these two terms. Here we have two terms. We are going to take the common between them. So we are taking x plus 2 as a common value. So in the first term, we have x plus 2 and then we have x plus 3 in our second term. Now what do we need to find? We need to find the speed and the time. But since we aren't given the numeral value, we can just assign speed and time the values from the given factors. So we can say that our speed is x plus 2 meter per second with the unit and our time in seconds is x plus 3. Or you can swap the values, and we can swap the values. That is because distance is equal to speed multiplied time. So if we multiply time with speed or speed with time, that just gives us the same output. So our final answer will be just assign your own terms like I did for speed x plus 2 and time x plus 3. So this will be our final answer.